Sioux Falls, and welcome to Planning Preview for the month of June. My name is Jason Bieber with the Planning Office at the City of Sioux Falls, and joining me today, as she has for the last couple months, is Janet, our Planning Commission Chairman. Nice to see you again,
Yes,
Janet.
happy to be here.
Yeah, we got actually a pretty good sized
Yes.
agenda for June, so maybe we'll get right into it.
Yeah, our first item is a very small lot over in the central part of town in USF, going from a duplex zoning to a single family. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so this is one of those, we talk about this a lot, the RT1 that was created as part of Shea Places, which has kind of been really good for some of these infill lots. So this is a real small lot, like you said, over by USF, and something that can't really get a house on unless we really have this RT1 zoning district. So guys just looking at building a single family house on there. So
Nice, yes, nice to infill some of that central part of town. Next one looks like we're kind of on the north side of town, kind of by 6th and Burnside. We're moving from a recreation district to a commercial district. So.
Yep. So this is the shopping cart property there, the old gas station.
Yes.
So for some reason, this parcel that they bought had a little strip on the north side of it, north side of the parking lot, zoned recreation for some reason. I don't know if it was part of the old park and maybe they acquired it from that. But what they're looking at doing is then zoning it to commercial and just doing a tiny little parking lot extension on there. So.
Oh, that makes sense. Absolutely. All right, and the next one, looks like we're doing a rezone from commercial to office district, and that's in the south part of town, southeast, by kind of those Greystone apartments.
Yep, exactly where it is. So just east of those Greystone apartments, that area was zoned all commercial, but they're looking to do just straight office there, so that's why they're kind of down zoning it just to office. So.
Nice. Okay, and then after that, we are doing a rezone from the twin home duplex residential to office, but that one's more in the central part of town, kind of by IPC, Phillips Avenue.
Yep. So kind of southeast of Hy-Vee there, Phillips and the Great Life. Yeah. So that's been Han Financial for a long time, you know, the existing building. Well, that property owner actually owns the two houses to the south of that that are along Phillips. So now he's continuing to grow and kind of bursting at the seams. So he's looking at doing another kind of addition or a building and a parking lot on the south side of this existing office that will front Phillips Avenue. That should work out pretty well with the neighborhood there. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. And then we'll move on to our next one, which is we're doing a rezone from the live work district to the light industrial district. And that is... where's that at? Gateway Edition.
So that's out on the northeast corner of Veterans Parkway, Madison, kind of out there. Yeah. If you've seen, actually driven out there, it's just a lot of dirt's being moved, which is great. We're getting a lot more development on that northeast side of town, and really that's because of Veterans Parkway getting connected to 90. Yep. So they're looking at, it's currently zoned live work. They're looking at doing two offices, but these ones are going to be a little bit more of office / contractor shops type uses.
Yeah, that's quite popular now.
Yes. So it really fits a little bit better in the I-1 zoning district, so that's kind of why we're going to go there. Not a lot of that outdoor storage, like a real heavy contractor shop, but could be some things that just don't work in the office district. So. Yep,
and then our very last one is kind of out by Willow Run Golf Course, is that right? I'm trying to think of that. Yeah, so it's kind of a new development that's going there. So rezone from ag to a single family residential.
Yeah, so this is kind of another one that's going to be kind of great for the city and something we need. So this is another one of those 55 and over kind of senior living areas. So they're all, you actually own the specific wall-to-wall kind of house. And then the entire ground is kind of a homeowners association deal. And then they'll have, you know, like a pool and community room. So it's one of those things that we don't have a lot. They are building one up on Madison and Veterans Parkway, a single family. So this will be something also there kind of just for people 55 and older that are maybe ready to transition out of their large home, want to be more with seniors but aren't ready maybe for the assisted living facility. So just another option and something that I think Sioux Falls continue to need to get more of these. So
yeah, I would agree. More options for people. So I think that's all we have, right, Jason?
Yeah, we motored through those pretty quickly, but they're good. I mean, they're pretty good for June. It's to have, you know, 8 or 9 items is pretty good. So we're continuing to develop, and that's good. So yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Janet, this month for Planning Preview. And stay tuned, Sioux Falls. After the break, we'll have Adam Roach, an urban planner with our office, who's going to give us an update on the progress of the 2035 downtown plan.
Hey, this is Seth with the City of Sioux Falls Housing Division. I'm here today with today's Home Maintenance Minute to talk to you about your air conditioner and how to take care of it. So one thing that I like to do once a year is to make sure, first and foremost, that your disconnect is turned off. All air conditioners should have a disconnect on the outside as well as on the panel. So you want to turn the breaker off at the panel, turn your disconnect off outside, and then you know there's no electricity in the unit. Okay, then if you look on the top, there's 4 bolts that hold this fan assembly on. If you take those bolts out, lift this assembly out and off and over to the side a little bit, just take a simple garden hose and go in around the fins on the inside of the unit and spray water from the inside out. And so if you look on the outside of an air conditioning unit, there are fins. It's much like a radiator in a car, and they get clogged. They get clogged with cottonwood, trees, debris, and leaves and dirt and dust. And simply going in from the inside and pushing that material out with water will clean that up, and it'll keep your air conditioner running much longer. Thanks for being with me today with today's Home Maintenance Minute.
Welcome back to Planning Preview for the month of June. Joining me now is Adam Roach with the Planning Office to talk a little bit about the downtown plan. Thanks for joining us on this month's show, Adam.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
Yeah, I think we talked about the downtown plan a little bit maybe last year. I think Dustin Powers, who is the other guy in our office that's kind of working with you to write the guts of the plan.
Yeah, I think Dustin teed things off with the planning process that we've been through so far, and that included assembling our 15-member advisory committee, getting our feet wet with them, going through the process of what the plan will look like in terms of the community outreach. And with that, we've done our public engagement started last May and included our market analysis with the Leland Consulting Group. That included a bunch of stakeholder interviews with community stakeholders, about 18 of them, who have various interests throughout the community. And it was a one-on-one with Leland Consulting and those stakeholders to really get their own personal analysis of downtown, how things are going. Also with that, we opened up a social media account with a social pinpoint, which allowed users to go in there and go through some mapping exercises. And that allowed them to provide an opportunity for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, challenges within the downtown plan, or not within the downtown plan, the downtown itself that we can address in the downtown plan. We hosted a series of public workshops, which also include our resident work groups. We had about 80 community members that went through different workshops of amenities and services, arts and culture, environment and design, and a few other categories, including parking, safety, and transportation. We had a number of community events that we attended, the Farmers Market, Inniscate, 8th and Railroad Festivals, First Fridays, things of that nature. What we really wanted to do is go where the people are. Where are the people, downtown, enjoying it, activating the spaces, and really get their assessment on things that we're doing wrong, things that we're doing right, and what can we really build on, and also what other communities are doing that we can bring our community to the next level. Yeah, and I think that's great. So you kind of talked about it. You guys are probably, I don't want to say for sure, but you're getting close to the end and ready to get to City Council to present it and show them what you've done. So say the 10-yard line, right? Yep. But let's go back to the beginning. So, a lot of departments within the city and, various other groups, you really utilize consultants to write all of this stuff. And I think that's one great thing about our department is a lot of the things we write in-house, and I know you and Dustin, along with our intern we had last year, really did a lot and kind of took this upon yourself. What made you guys decide, hey, you know what, I think this would be better besides the financial part, that you hired a consultant to give you the financial information about the downtown, just because we don't have backgrounds in that. But what really made you guys want to take this on and really write it in-house from our perspective? So we really felt like we could make the plan our own rather than hiring somebody else to do it. We have a lot of connections throughout our downtown. We're very familiar with it and all the stakeholders. And I think so far we've done a great job. And within the next couple of weeks here, we get a draft back from our communications team. And we will start assembling some of those public meetings. We'll reach out to our stakeholder or our advisory committee. Yep. And then we'll be going to the public library to have some open houses. We'll have an opportunity for people to comment online on the plan itself. And then subsequently, we'll bring it to Planning Commission for review and then off to City Council for adoption. But with that, it also entails taking more public comment throughout that process and then reiterating the plan again before it comes public.
Yeah, and I think you just nailed it when you talked about, writing it in-house like we just talked about. But not only you guys have a lot of passion and a lot of expertise in the downtown, but it just really shows all of how our downtown business owners, residents, downtown Sioux Falls are passionate about it too, that really were able to provide a lot of good input. And you said you had like 80 stakeholders on the different committees. I mean, it wasn't hard for you to get those people to be on the committees because everybody wants to provide input and really wants to make the downtown the best we can make it in Sioux Falls. So
yeah, I think it certainly helps. And even during those public outreach sessions that we've had, it's a personal thing for us because we're very passionate about our community, but we also know a lot about our community. So it was very easy to naturally talk with the residents, provide a sense of comfort, and be able to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, where we've come from, where we're going, and how we can change things.
Yeah, and I think your public engagement things you talked about, and I was just thinking about that. It's nice that you kind of did the whole gambit, right? You got the farmers market, which is the early morning, typically an older crowd, right? Because you guys go at 8 in the morning for that to get some public engagement. You did the Inno Skate thing, which was a new event that came to downtown Sioux Falls to get kind of that, middle of the afternoon type people, and really a lot of different people that we normally maybe don't see downtown.
A lot of younger folks too.
Yep. And then the first Friday, which is a nighttime concert event, was another opportunity to get people that are maybe more into the nighttime events on there. So it was nice that you kind of ran all those different public engagements of just different hours and days of the week to get as much public input as you can from all those different people.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was very rewarding just to hear a very broad perspective from people. Residents who are lifetime residents, people who have only been here for a couple of years because of COVID, who left the West Coast or the East Coast and really like what our downtown has to offer. Even visitors that were venturing near Falls Park, coming up through the downtown and just stopping at the booth. And it was great to hear their comments about how well downtown Sioux Falls is doing. And then a number of people come up to you and just say, I'm not sure what to improve, which kind of, it makes you feel happy, but on the inside, that there's a lot more that we can do and there's a lot more that we can offer to be inclusive and offer things to families and family-friendly activities and things of that nature that we're really looking for. So.
No, it's going to be a great next 12 years, like you talked about, for downtown. It'll be so interesting because you'll probably still be here, so you'll probably write the next one, right, at 2033 or whatever, when you would start that one. So it'll be so cool to look back on where we've come in 12 years, considering where we've come from 12 years ago, right? I mean, it's been such a drastic change downtown, and I think everybody feels like the downtown's a gem of our city, and 25 years ago it probably wasn't, right?
Yeah, I remember riding my bike downtown as a 6-7-year-old, and there was a lot of boarded up stores, and we'd ride our bike to the Transit Depot, which was open, Zambro's Variety, which is another one that was open, and it's changed quite a bit significantly over the last 25 years, and it's absolutely stunning to see where we've come, and even more exciting to where we're going to be going in the next 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah. And so you kind of hinted on a little bit. So you kind of have the first draft all completed with that, right? And then you've got it in our communications department so they can make it, as we call it, look pretty and not just pictures, put the pictures in there and the illustrations and the words, to make them all kind of flow together. When do you expect that kind of to be back? In the next couple weeks kind of a deal?
I would say we will have that back the next couple weeks from our communications staff. And then again, we'll start assembling those meetings and get the word out to the public. I'm sure we'll do some more engagement sessions at the public library and then an online component as well. But we want to hear from people. We want to make this, it's the community's plan. It's written by the community. All the advice that has been taken over the last 12 months, thousands of comments, just a lot of engagement. And we're really excited about where we've come.
And then, so once you get that all, and then we've got the final draft, then like you said, Planning Commission, City Council for adoption kind of the report kind of a deal, or the plan.
That's
to
correct.
go through there.
Yep.
Are you expecting that here? I'm assuming 2023 would be a goal to get that completed through those boards, and then
Yeah,
2023.
absolutely. I'd say in the next few months we'll be bringing it forward for adoption.
Great. And I've seen part of it. You've shown me a little bit of some of the chapters, and just really liked the way that it's laid out and the pretty pictures, as I always say, since I'm not a ginormous reader.
Sure, yeah. It's got a lot of great pictures, a lot of nice call-out boxes, and there's a lot of things in there that we're really excited about. Ideas that have routinely come through the community and have become reoccurring themes at different public engagement sessions. We've heard a lot about a year-round public market, a centralized visitor center, throughout downtown. We've heard a lot about a multi-purpose recreational facility, perhaps in the Riverline district. People seem to be excited about more recreational opportunities within downtown. Public restrooms, we hear a lot about. There's a few restrooms downtown, but a lot of them are not public. So where is a good central location for something like that? We hear a lot from dedicated and protected bike lanes. Connecting more of our neighborhoods to downtown is a priority as well. Our most dense pockets of our community are within the core, and we want to be able to have those synergies to and from our neighborhoods to downtown. We have a lofty goal of adding 3,000 residents in the next, residential units in the next 10 years. Our market analysis called for 1,200. We feel that we could probably bring more than that, based on the traction that we've seen in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yep.
Also looking at establishing a philanthropic fund similar to what the parks have done, where different people who have passions for different ideas can put their money behind it if they want to. And this could include streetscape upgrades. You name it, opportunities are endless. And you see things like the Market Beat Plaza that has come out of that philanthropic fund through the parks, or Jacobson Plaza, just to name a few, or even the Kirby Dog Park. So we're looking to provide more public-private partnerships,
big deal.
which would be a good opportunity. We're looking at establishing a prospectus to attract downtown industries that are desirable. We're kind of a little tech hub, but how do we grow on that and expand on some of those ideas? And then also looking at updated design standards, green up our community a bit more, and ensure we're getting quality designs. So.
Yeah, and I think one other quick thing before maybe we are done is this is just one of those plans that we're doing this year with we've got like 3 big plans for the downtown area. We have your downtown plan, and then the Falls Park master plan I think is getting close for the Falls Park area, and then we're also doing that kind of traffic study area for not only the viaducts but just traffic downtown. So really 2023, by the time we get done, we'll have 3 plans that are gonna really propel downtown for the next, like you talked about, 12 to 15 years, really give us an idea of what we need to do to continue to move it forward.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of synergies between the parks plan, the transit plan, and then the downtown plan. It's an exciting time for our community. We're bursting at the seams, and there's so much going on everywhere that you go. The amount of cranes in the sky is unbelievable. But we're trajecting upward, and we want to keep trajecting upward, and so it's a perfect opportunity to get these plans created, established, adopted by the community, and then we can work on the implementation aspect of it.
Yeah, well, I can say I appreciate all the hard work you've, Dustin, and then Maddie did last year for this plan, to be able to write it in-house and to be able to provide our actual ideas within, and when we write the plan, our expertise, and not have somebody maybe that doesn't live close to the Midwest. So I appreciate you guys taking that on and really working your butts off for the last year and a half or so to get it completed. And I think it's going to be not one of those plans you just throw on the shelf, something that we actually implement and use for the next 12 to 15 years.
Yeah, that's the thing. After it's done and adopted, then we will start on the implementation and establishing, what that looks like and where we're going with that, and the community stakeholders we need to organize to get some of this stuff to move forward with it.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me this month for Planning Preview, Adam.
Appreciate you having me, Jason.
Anytime. And thanks for joining us, Sioux Falls, for Planning Preview for the month of June. The Planning Commission meeting this month is on June 7th at 6 o'clock, always at the Carnegie Town Hall. We would love you to come out and provide public input on any of the agenda items you heard today. Or we also do have the 5-minute public comment period at the end of our agenda to talk anything related. Thanks, Sioux Falls, and have a great day.